In this presentation, I'll talk about using drip marketing to stay top of mind. Drip marketing is an automated marketing system that sends either emails or direct mail or some other form of reminder on a consistent basis to keep the client thinking about you at the time that they approach the purchasing cycle. A drip campaign can bolster your entire marketing calendar because it's running in the background and doesn't require you to interact in order to continue to process. Many companies, even companies that specialize in marketing automation, think that drip and nurture marketing are the same thing. But drip campaigns and nurture campaigns have two entirely different purposes and approaches. A drip campaign is deployed on a predetermined schedule. It's sent to a broad audience, usually your entire subscriber list or your entire customer list. It's geared toward education and branding or positioning of your product. The message is typically generalized, doesn't have a lot of personalization in it. Drip campaigns remind the customer of the relationship. Drip campaigns, for instance, could be used to re-engage inactive customers. You could deploy a series of messages, maybe once a week or once every couple of weeks, in a conversational tone that identifies pain points that they're having. By doing this, you will build trust over time and you'll become top of mind so that when they get ready to enter the buying phase, they think of you first. In order to deploy a successful drip campaign, you need to first define a goal. Goals need to be quantifiable. You have to be able to track them, and you must be able to analyze what you've tracked. Reminding the lead or prospect about your product isn't enough. You need to remind them of the relationship and build that trust. For example, if you were setting a quantifiable goal, it wouldn't be enough to just say, let's sell more gift cards. But you could say something like, let's sell 50 gift cards to inactive customers by December 31st. In that way, you're defining how many you want to sell, you're defining the target audience, and you're defining the time span in which you will do this. The second step is to profile your campaign. Now, we've created an online profiler at profiler.spidertrainers.com, and it's free. You can go up and use it to your heart's content for as many campaigns as you like. What this tool will help you to do is actually put your plan to work. So the first thing it'll ask you to do, and a first thing for any drip campaign, is to give the campaign a name and be descriptive. You'll also want to define that quantifiable goal that I spoke of. Next, what's your call to action? What do you want them to do? Click now and save 50%, or click now to download. Then lastly, what is the list you have? Are these inactive customers? Are these new leads? So talk about that list. The next step is to profile your audience. Persona profiling is a way of understanding your audience by using example people to represent groups. Again, our persona profiler will help you do this, and you can see some questions here that the profiler will ask you, which are good basic questions anytime you're trying to do persona profiling. Is your audience male or female? What is their age group? Are they single, divorced? Not all questions are relevant to you, but for the questions that are, go through the profile or go through your own exercise of defining a person to represent a group. With that person identified, it's often much easier to target your marketing when you can actually envision what that person looks like, what they might be purchasing, and what their habits are. The next step will be to draft your schema. Now, this is a schema that includes a blast email, a series of drip emails, and a series of nurture emails. And not all campaigns follow this flow. But in this case, I've used a blast email to go out and welcome new subscribers to my list. If the new subscriber does not engage with my blast email, I put them in the passive path or the drip campaign. If they do interact, then I put them in the active path or the nurture campaign. Nurture campaigns are designed in a way that you will help your lead make it through the sales funnel, whereas drip campaigns is just staying in touch. After the schema, write the content. Be sure to use your keywords and key images and focus on messaging that you defined in the campaign profile. Are you going to be conversational? Are you going to list benefits? Do you want to talk about features? So get your content written. Then design a consistent theme. Now that's one of the keys to a drip marketing campaign, is that you do have a consistent theme. It reminds that customer simply through the design elements that, hey, this is someone I've heard from before. I recognize this company. Next, you'll want to tackle your landing or squeeze page. This is an example of a landing page, and you can tell that it is because it has multiple calls to action. There's a Twitter feed along the top, a Join Now button, a phone number so that the visitor can call in, and a form to have the recruiter call the visitor. There's even social follow buttons. In some cases, you'll want to use a squeeze page. A squeeze page is shown here on the left. In the squeeze page, we only have one call to action. We have a form so that they can request a download. There are no social sharing buttons. There are no links to our website, just this one button. When the form is completed and the button is clicked, they then go to a microsite. Now, a microsite is a series of landing pages, and microsites offer lots of ways to interact with you. There are menus to other pages in the microsite, there's contact information, there's social sharing, there's social following, and links to other pages at the website. A microsite is a great way to gain real estate to talk more about your company or more about the product. Along with squeeze landing pages and microsites, you'll want to use custom URLs. These custom URLs will enable you to track visitors to each individual page and to understand from where they came. If you're launching a campaign and the campaign is mentioned in your Twitter feed and on your Facebook page, you send out an email and maybe you have some PPC ads. By using unique URLs for each of those sources, you'll understand which of the sources drove the most traffic. As I mentioned in the schema, you'll want to start with a welcome. So this particular list are new prospects. So as a prospect enters my list, I want to welcome them and I want to set their expectations. When they enter this list, they need to know what they will receive from me. So I've given them first some examples of emails that we've sent in the past. This is a landing page at my website. And so anytime someone subscribes, if they want more information about what that subscription means to them, they can come to this page and see what we will send. After your welcome email, create your autoresponders. Autoresponders are a way of acknowledging their interaction with your campaign. We use autoresponders to acknowledge an interaction. That means that someone received our email and they clicked. Because of that click, we then categorize them as a nurturing lead. And so that lead will be put into the nurturing bucket. You might do it differently, but an autoresponder stays in touch and reminds the customer of the relationship and provides them with some other options of interacting with your company. Drip campaigns come in 3 different styles. You can have it launched by anchor date, you can have it launched by a calendar, and you can have it launched by duration. But drip is different than nurture because, like a drip irrigation system, it's drip, drip, drip on a very consistent schedule, regardless of the interaction they have with your company. As you develop your campaign components, you'll want to be sure to set up testing points as well. You might start with testing your subject line or testing personalization. In this example, we're testing the headline and the imagery. But you can use A/B and multivariate testing within your drip campaign. The tracking codes and unique URLs will help you to understand which of your events was more successful in driving that interaction. You'll also be able to measure your results against your quantifiable goal. Be sure to set it up so that you can tweak your design and content as it's needed. The tracking component might be tracked in several different areas. So we already talked about the tracking codes and unique URLs, and that's one tracking method. But you might also use a URL shortener such as bit.ly, and that has a set of analytics. If you're using social sharing or social following, you might also be gathering analytics from your social media accounts or your social media aggregator. In this example, I'm tracking my emails. So these are the number of people who opened, bounced, did not open, and clicked. By tracking that information, I was able to determine that the concept on the right was more well received and better set the expectation of the recipient. In conclusion, your drip and nurture campaigns, marketing automation, has been shown to increase qualified leads for lots of business, and some by as much as 451%. Now, that's a number to contend with, and it's why we recommend drip and nurture campaigns. Spider trainers are experts in developing, designing, and deploying drip and nurture campaigns. We develop these systems that provide a foundation for your entire marketing calendar. These automated marketing initiatives are running constantly, even at a time when you're resource strapped and really don't have the time or the bandwidth to deal with them. Use these campaigns to make sure you stay top of mind.